Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam Puan Shahrin. My name is AMIRAH SYAMIMI from Group 7 Part 4. Allow me to tell you about our topic that was called Dahlia Pinnata, also known as Dahlia flower.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our dear lecturer, Madam Putri. So this is the taxonomic description of Dahlia Pinnata. So the domain is Eukarya, kingdom of Plantae, the clade of Tracheophytes, Angiosperms, Eudicots, and Asterids, while the class is Magnolepsida, the order of Azeruls, family of Asteraceae, genus of Dahlia, and species of Dahlia Pinnata. So Dahlia Pinnata is an eukaryotic organism, which means they have two nucleus enclosed by a nuclear membrane that contains the genetic materials. It is also a multicellular organism due to a presence of mitochondria and chloroplasts, which makes them different from bacteria. For kingdom, Dahlia Pinnata is part of Plantae because of the cell wall is made of cellulose. It has also terrestrial adaptation and cuticle that prevent water loss, and stomata for gas exchange. They also have alternation of generation, which 2N and 1N phase, which make them completely different from algae. Before getting into phylum and class, we have to look at the clades. So the clades is Angiosperms, which means it have flower, Eudicots, which means the seeds can be cut into two, and Asterids. So the Dahlia Pinnata is also a vascular plant, which makes them a tracheophyte. So for phylum, it is Magnolia phyta, which is a flowering plant angiosperm. So for class, Dahlia Pinnata is Magnolepsida or Eudicots, or usually dicots, which means U stands for true and Di stands for two. For order and family, Dahlia Pinnates include order of Asteruls and family under Asteraceae, which is daisy or sunflower plant. So some characteristics of Asteruls are flowering heads with florets. For genus, Dahlia Pinnates have a variation of height from 30 cm to meters. The leaf arrangement is usually opposites. The flower head can be large and showy with ranging of colors.
Next, some characteristics of Dahlia Pinnata. In botanical description, Dahlia Pinnata is herbaceous perennial, and the height is typically range from 30 cm to 210 cm depending on the cultivar. Dahlia Pinnata leaf shape is pinnate with serrated edge arranged oppositely along the stem. The stem is hollow, which can make them prone to breaking under heavy wind or rain. The flower of Dahlia Pinnata is composite flower head with central disc and surrounding ray florets. Color range from white, yellow, orange, red, pink, purple to multicolor. Lastly, the flower can be single, semi-double, or fully double. The root of Dahlia Pinnata is tuber that store nutrient, allowing the plant to survive in dormant period. For growth requirement, Dahlia Pinnata require well-drained, fertile soil with pH of 6.5 to 7. Dahlia Pinnata require full sun for optimal flowering and require regular watering but sensitive to waterlogging. Last but not least, some uses of Dahlia Pinnata. First, popular in gardens and landscape for their vibrant flower and variety. Secondly, widely used in floral arrangement. And lastly, intensive breeding has led to numerous cultivars with a wide range of color, shape and size.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is IRDINA. Today I'll be presenting about reproduction and also life cycle of Dahlia. First of all, Dahlia comes from an angiosperm plant that will undergo double fertilization and also alternation of generations to produce haploid and diploid cells. Second of all, for female gametes, which is the ovule, they will undergo meiosis to produce 4 haploid megaspores. 3 haploid megaspores will become degenerate, leaving 1 to survive, and the survived megaspore will undergo mitosis 3 times to produce 8 haploid nuclei. For the male gametes, which is located at the anther, for more information, anther has numbers of pollen grain, and each pollen grain contains 1 tube cell and 1 generative cell. Next is the life cycle of Dahlia. When pollen grain lands onto the stigma from the same species, The pollen grain will release tube cell, and the tube cell will soon form a pollen tube through the ovary, followed by the generative cell. During the transportation, the generative cell will undergo mitosis to produce two haploid sperm cells. One fuses with the central nuclei, and another one will fuse and fertilize the egg cell. When the egg cell has been fertilized by the sperm, it will develop into diploid zygote and soon form an embryo that will give rise to a pod or a fruit.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AMIRAH SYAMIMI. So today I want to talk about the importance of Dahlia Pinnata to the ecosystem. Firstly is the relationship between the plants and the pollinator, especially insects. Flower like Dahlia Pinnata use insects as pollinator agent. The reason is because when the insect is in contact with the petal surface for a certain amount of time, the pollen, nectar and fragrance will attach to the body of pollinator. This will attract another pollinator. Therefore, other than that, Dahlia Pinnata also have an essential role in the ecosystem by providing food for various of pollinators. This is including bees, butterfly, or even hummingbirds. These pollinators rely on nectar. Nectar is the sugar liquid that was produced by flower like Dahlia Pinnata. In addition, Dahlia Pinnata providing habitats and shelter for the small insects and other organisms. This will contribute to the biodiversity and help maintaining healthy ecosystem through their ecological interaction by supporting the population of the pollinator.
For the habitat of Dahlia Pinnata, it lives in the rich damp oak and pine woods at elevation about 1,800 meters, and its native is at the South North America until the Mexico. It's centralized in the central of America. A good combination of habitat, meaning it needs soil, light, water and fertilizer. For the light, it prefers full sun at about 6 to 8 hours a day. For the soil, it requires a rich loamy soil with organic matter that drains the water well and neutral pH at about 6.5. The water, Dahlia Pinnata does not need water until the green sprouts grow. Once the green sprout grow, it required water once or twice a day to never let the soil dry out. Lastly, for the fertilizer, Dahlia Pinnata known as the heavy feeders, meaning that the more the food it receives, the larger the plant will grow. It also requires a higher percentage of phosphorus to bloom well.